Welcome to the latest global news recorded at 2 o'clock GMT on Thursday the 21st of March. I'm Julian Keane with a selection of highlights from across BBC World Service News today. It's 10 years since the invasion of Iraq, and since that happened, people there have been talking about a rise in birth defects and cancer in children, especially in parts of the country where fighting was fiercest. Yalda Hakim has been investigating.
Zara, just 7 days old, cries out in her grandmother's arms. At first glance, she looks healthy, but there's something wrong. Zara has spina bifida. It's one of the birth defects that Iraqi doctors say is on the rise both here in Basra and across the country in places that saw heavy fighting during the war. For Zara's grandmother, Nathim, it's personal.
You know a mother's heart. She calls me every hour to see how she's doing, and she cries on the phone. She asks me when I'm bringing her daughter to her.
At this crowded maternity hospital in the centre of Basra, doctors say they've seen a 60% rise in birth defects since 2003. And we've been told that paediatric cancer cases in Basra have tripled.
These are samples of teeth from children who have a congenital birth defect.
Dr. Sabak has been watching the rise and worrying. He's done research showing that children with birth defects have high levels of lead and mercury in their hair and teeth. And he's convinced there's a link to the war.
We have no explanation other than this. Definitely there is definite pollution with the nutrients, with the food, with the water. Because why they have this increment there? Someone should explain it to me. Why this there is definite increment in the level of lead and mercury in the exposed areas to weapons? We have no explanation other than this.
In the Iraqi capital Baghdad, I've come to the health ministry to try and get some answers. They've been working with the World Health Organization on a report about this very issue. But the results keep getting delayed.
We all work in it and we collect the data.
However, while I'm here, I meet a couple of doctors who, to my surprise, are willing to talk.
Why are they saying they see a sudden increase? Are they linking this to the war?
Yes, with the explosions. Yes, there is a lot of weapon and explosion happen in their area. Yes.
The same government for the cancer cases.
Same thing. And again, 3 places where there was a lot of fighting.
Yes. You know that everyone knows that the weapons and explosion is harmful and have a lot of chemicals which is harmful. So we connect, but there is no real job about studying the chemicals and the types of congenital anomaly.
So the ministry for the first time confirms that birth defects and cancers are on the rise in places that saw fierce fighting from 2003 onwards. When we contacted the American Defense Department, they didn't respond. The British Ministry of Defense said they were waiting for the official results of the report and said it would be premature to suggest a link to any cause without reliable evidence.
We collected all this data about where they had lived.
Dr. Mushkan Sababi Asbahani, a toxicologist, recently conducted a study into children with birth defects in Fallujah and Basra. I spoke to her on Skype from her home in America. She says urgent action needs to be taken.
Water, air, soil, food, everything that people come in contact with has to be tested for metals specifically. And once we have that data, we will be able to locate areas where this pollution is originating from. And then we can take steps to clean it up. Generations of children in Iraq will be affected extremely harshly by this if we don't do anything.
Back in Basra, at the children's cemetery, Abu Bakr, the gravedigger, digs another grave. In the last 10 years, since taking over from his father, he's shocked by the children he's had to bury.
Did your father ever tell you that he saw such cases when he was doing it?
No, he tells me. He never saw anything like this. I've seen some horrific cases. I used to be scared when I started this job, but now my heart is dead. And then Abu Bakr has to get back to work. Another family has arrived to bury another child. We still don't know for sure whether these birth defects are a consequence of war, but it's a problem that can't be ignored.
That report from Yalda Hakim.